Hello everyone, welcome to Story Retold. I can't live stream right now, but I have been working on this new puzzle that Her Interactive has dropped at about 2:34-ish on May 16th. And here it is, right here on Instagram. It says, need more clues to game 34, time to phone a friend. Now in the captions right here, let me scroll up. So they got some letters here that are uppercased, and that is unscrambled. It reveals the words, what order? So what order is a clue. So let's start off with this. So we're going to keep track of what we're doing here. Now I can already see I've got my first answer right here on the right. And this is a picture of Nick Falcone. Now this is important. He is in game 5. So I'm going to write that here. Let me see. Game number. So Nick Falcone is number 5. You know what? I'm actually just going to not put this in here. I'm actually just going to do this plainly so you can see how I do this. Since he is in game 5, I'm going to put him in row 5 right here. Let me zoom in so you can see it better. So I'm going to enter the answer for this here. Nick Falcone is game 5. The clue he has here, find out the last 2 digits of the year the last time someone measured a really big tree. This clue in the text it also clues in to what game this is back here. This is a screenshot from Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake. So we go to Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake and we look at the tree display here, and it measures the rings of the tree. This is 1987, the furthest out that someone measured it. So I'm going to write in here 87. Now let's go to the next one. This is Abby. She is from game 3, so I'm going to put the answer here in number 3. It says, the spirits are telling me you need to look at the last 2 digits of the year listed in Tools of the Trade. So Tools of the Trade in this game right here, that is Secret of the Scarlet Hand, and Tools of the Trade found here is the ham radio used in the expedition in 1955, and it wanted the last 2 digits of the year. So 55, I'm going to put that in slot number 3. The next one is from Ingrid Corey. Ingrid Corey is from the Haunted Carousel, which is game number 8. So I'm going to put my answer in the 8 number slot right here. She's asking about a 6-foot-long doll's porpoise can outswim his largest brothers if he is prepared for the fight. How does he prepare? By knowing what size he's up against. So the doll's porpoise and this image here are referencing Danger on Deception Island. And I think I've got this right by looking at the gray whale, because the humpback whale is about 43 feet long, but the gray whale is bigger at 45 feet long, because it's comparing how long the doll's porpoise is, which is 6 feet. So 45 is going to go into slot 8, 45. All right. Professor Hotchkiss is from game number 4, so we're going to put her answer in number 4. Now this picture back here is from Midnight in Salem. She wants to add the first 2 numbers in the year outside the museum, which is over, you can barely see it here. Let me get to Midnight in Salem, 1692. Add the first 2 numbers together, which is 1 and 6, you get 7. So 7 is the answer for Hotchkiss. Daryl Gray is from game number 1, Secrets Can Kill. We're going to put him in slot number 1. This background is from Labyrinth of Lies, and so he says to look at the number of hoplite breastplates noted in the invoice signed by Melina Rossi, and we're actually standing with our back to this answer in that scene, which is by the crate. We've got 1 hoplite breastplate, metal and leather straps. We also have a greave set, left and right, classical helmets, jewelry, but there's only 1 hoplite breastplate, and then here's the date signed by Melina. So the answer for this one is 1 in slot 1 for Daryl Gray. So the background here is Trail of the Twister, and Taylor Sinclair is from game number 6, Secrets of the Scarlet Hand, so we're going to put the answer in number 6. So Trail of the Twister, here we go, here's the clue. Add together the last 2 digits of the year. Over 100 million acres of farmland lost their topsoil. And while you're solving it, you figure out your bigger problem. I just missed that. So if we go into Trail of the Twister, the Dust Bowl display in the museum in Paws store. If you look at the bottom part of the Dust Bowl information here, you can see by 1934, over 100 million acres of farmland had lost all or most of its essential topsoil. By 1940, nearly 2.5 million people had left the Plains state. I'm wondering if that's important. Relocating, find work. So I'm going to go with by 1934. That's when over 100 million acres of farmland lost the soil. While you're solving it, you'll figure out your bigger problem. I wonder if that's a clue for something. I haven't figured that out yet. Dust Bowl. Might have to come back to this one. By 1940, they left. Okay, well, I'm going to put 34, because those are the last 2 digits. While you are solving it, figure out your bigger problem. I'm going to have to circle back on that. This is how far I've come so far, but I thought I'd share. Taylor Sinclair is from Game 6. The answer here is 34. At least I believe so. Maddie Jensen, she is from Game 2. We're going to fill that in spot number 2 here. This is referencing Midnight in Salem. Look at the number of souls who died in jail or from torture. Now this is in the museum. You can barely see it. It's way at the top here. It's actually the number 5. Died in jail or from torture. This is in the museum on the wall. This timeline right here, it's part of the Salem Witch Tour. So the answer is 5. Ranger Acres is from Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake, which is Game 7. And this is also from Game 7, Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake. See if the computer says the last 2 digits of the year. The computer. I wasn't looking at the computer because on the wall they actually have this display. In 1932, this is in Jeff Akers' place actually. Maybe I have this incorrect. In 1932, when the United States was in the throes of the Great Depression, presidential candidate Franklin D. Roosevelt recognized that the country was facing 2 serious problems: its natural resources. I'm probably gonna have to correct this. When did he come up with it, though? That's my error. So I'm gonna hop over to YouTube. We're gonna thank Gab Smulders for her footage. I think she looked at this at one point. Maybe it was on the computer? I don't recall. I'm gonna skim through here, see if I can't find where on the computer we get to look at this. It might be up here. This is the full gameplay, so it's around here somewhere. This is here's the papers, but it's specifically called out the computer. So where on the computer do we get to look? We're getting close.
Prevent premature aging.
And meanwhile, we will have an ad.
Refrigerators from Beko.
This is a not sponsored stream.
The building in which
the CCC was established in 1942, so I need to take a correct. I will make sure to credit Gab Smulders on this, and I will save that picture for later. So the answer here is 1942. But although this wasn't pointed out in the computer, so let's take a look. We'll just make absolutely sure. I wonder if she'll go here, the history. Wells and waters, that's not that. Stop drinking water. These are about the tribes. Celebrities. Moon Lake. The acquisition of land. Okay, I'm not seeing what, but this is the answer, I suppose. No, not this one. I meant the 1942 one. Whoops. All right, so I'm going to say it was 42. All right, so that was the last slide, right? If we look at this, 155, 78, 34. Now let's spell that out real quick. Let me get out a Word document. Okay, so the number is 155 787 34. Oh boy, we've run out of numbers here. Oh, we've got too many numbers. 34 42 45. Now, right about here, if I split it, this is a proper phone number right here. If you use that 3-letter acronym, let me zoom in for you. This is a proper phone number. But then we have 4, 42, 45, and I have no idea what that's all about. This is not a phone number I recognize. 7873. My guess is that this might be the phone number to an American phone. It's an American number. And it might be the next phone friend that we're going to have contacts to. Now, if I go back to Thomas. Sorry, I was looking at Thomas. This blog post was really cool by Indy a while ago. It shows the different phone numbers for each of our famous characters. This is not Bess's phone number. Let's see me zoom in. This is Bess's number, George, Ned. It's not 4357. It's not 4868 either. So it can't be the Hardy Boys. And then we have like the numbers to characters in White Wolf of Icicle Creek. This is a close one. Carl Jenkins. 7827. It's 7873. 7387. Derek and Brenda Southwaite. But that's not quite the area code. Wait a minute, I'm looking at this wrong. Let me put in my format here.